If you thought the Squid Game doll was terrifying, wait until you hear the story of her brother. His existence was hidden for decades, erased from history. But legends say he was far more dangerous. And tonight, you'll hear the truth. Years ago, in a forgotten village, there lived a brother and sister named Young-hee and Cholu. Young-hee was everything a child should be: kind, gentle, and loved by everyone. She helped neighbors, played fairly with friends, and sang while she worked. To the villagers, Young-hee was a blessing. But for her younger brother Cholu, life was different. Wherever he went, people compared him to her. "Why can't you be like Young-hee?" they asked. "She's smart, she's kind, she's perfect." No matter what Cholu did, he was always seen as less. That rejection poisoned him. Love for his sister slowly twisted into resentment, and resentment turned into hate. One afternoon, Young-hee was playing near the village well, humming softly to herself. The sun was shining, but Cholu's heart was darker than ever. He crept behind her, fists clenched, eyes burning with jealousy. And in that moment, rage took over. He pushed her. Young-hee screamed as she tumbled into the darkness of the well. But fate struck back. As Cholu leaned over, his foot slipped on the wet stones and he fell too. Both children plummeted into the black water below, and both were gone. The villagers searched for days. They lowered ropes, lanterns, even climbed into the well themselves. But they found nothing. No bodies, no traces. To cover the horror, they told the families a lie. The children had been kidnapped. But the truth was far worse. Yonghi and Cholu's bodies were gone, yet their spirits remained, and the well became their prison. Soon after, strange things began to happen. At night, villagers reported hearing children crying deep inside the well. Some heard nails scratching against the stone. Others swore they heard whispers, one voice soft and sorrowful, the other low and hateful. Brave souls who dared to peer into the water claimed they saw Yonghi's pale reflection, her eyes filled with tears. But standing behind her was something else, a shadow with glowing red eyes. Children who played nearby sometimes returned, speaking in voices that weren't their own. Farmers passing the well said they heard the game, red light, green light, whispered on the wind. Travelers who camped near the village disappeared without a trace. Their belongings were found scattered, but the people themselves gone forever. The legend of Yonghi and Cholu spread far and wide. Their faces even appeared in old-school textbooks. Teachers told their story as a warning that jealousy leads to tragedy, but only the villagers knew the real truth, that the siblings had never left. Decades later, when the creators of Squid Game designed their deadly dolls, they turned to old folklore for inspiration. Yonghi's likeness became the doll we all know, innocent and childlike, hiding her deadly purpose. But few know there was a second design, a secret prototype based on Cholu, taller, bulkier, more terrifying. His sharp eyes and powerful frame were designed not to watch, but to chase. The engineers found him too disturbing to use. They locked the prototype away, or so they thought. Because when the spirits of Yonghi and Cholu discovered the dolls, they claimed them. Yonghi quietly entered her doll, waiting for her deadly game. But Cholu, he entered the prototype, and his rage returned with him. At first, the players only faced Yonghi. During red light, green light, she stood tall at the end of the field, her head turning with an eerie creak, her mechanical eyes glowing as she scanned. Her childlike voice sang, "Red light, green light." Those who moved at the wrong time were gunned down. The players thought she was just a machine. But in the shadows, another figure was watching. On the 6th night of the games, when the players were tired and desperate, the ground began to tremble. A shadow stepped into the arena, towering, splintered, its painted smile cracked and broken. His eyes glowed red, burning through the darkness. Cholu had arrived. His voice thundered across the field. "You ran from her, but you cannot run from me." Unlike Yonghi, who followed rules, Cholu gave none. He didn't play, he hunted. His heavy wooden steps shook the ground as he charged. His enormous hands grabbed fleeing players, crushing them like dolls or throwing them against the walls. Panic filled the arena. There was no safety, no rules, no game. Only Cholu's revenge. One survivor later described what he saw. Up close, Cholu's wooden skin was cracked, full of splinters. Rusted metal teeth hid behind a painted smile. His eyes flickered like dying candles. The survivor swore Cholu leaned down, close enough to feel his cold breath, and whispered, "This is not a game. This is revenge. You will never escape us. We are everywhere." Another survivor claimed he saw Cholu grab a player, and then the player was gone. Not crushed, not broken, just vanished, as if dragged into another world. That player was never seen again. Though some managed to survive, none left unscarred. Many reported hearing footsteps at night, long after the games ended. Others claimed that when they looked into mirrors, their reflection sometimes flickered, and for a second, glowing red eyes stared back at them. And the curse did not stop there. In the abandoned village, the old well still stands. Families passing by say their children suddenly begin to chant red light, green light, in voices that don't belong to them. Tourists who take photos near the well later discover something chilling in the images. Two children standing in the background, holding hands, their eyes faintly glowing. A construction team once attempted to demolish the well. Days later, their machines were discovered, covered in rust, as if decades had passed in a single night. But the workers themselves? They vanished without a trace. Now the legend warns that Cholu is no longer confined to the games. His spirit grows stronger, spreading beyond the arena and the village. Some believe he is searching for new hosts, new bodies to inhabit. Others say he slips into our world through mirrors, shadows, or whispers, and they say, if you hear heavy footsteps behind you, followed by the sound of children laughing, it means Cholu is near. And if you ever hear a whisper say, run, if you can, don't turn around, because by then, it's already too late. So I'll ask you this, would you survive if you stood in that arena? Could you face the brother of the Squid Game doll? Or will you be the next to hear his footsteps in the dark? Share your answer in the comments below if you're brave enough.